Hello, Sacred Path travelers. I hope that you're doing well for this 1212 portal today. This is Melissa, Mother Lover for Life, 100%, coming to you doing a 1212 portal Sacred Path reading for the fellow travelers, brothers and sisters that are on the Sacred Path, that are ascending and transitioning and going through some spiritual awakening. So I hope all of you are well out there. I've already called in my angels, ascended masters, archangels, spirit guides, my ancestors, Mother Mary Magdalene, and Jesus Christ for this reading. I was prompted to do a reading. I've been having increased synchronicities. I hope all of you are doing well, and we're going to go ahead and get a reading today. I've chosen the Sacred Rebels deck, the Lightworker Oracle deck, and then the Kuan Yin Oracle for some enlightenment from and guidance and blessing from the Divine Feminine energy. So, like I said, I've already saged, cleansed, and blessed this reading, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start out with the Lightworker Oracle. So, thank you, Holy Spirit. Please cleanse and bless this reading for a clear and accurate reading. From my spiritual team, what does this collective need to know most at this time as they come into balance within their masculine and feminine energy within themselves? Transition on the sacred path and continue to spiritually advance. What do we need to know most from Lightworker Oracle? For the Sacred Rebel Lightworkers out there that are holding the light. Show us what we need to know most today. Holy Spirit, thank you for these messages. Okay. So first thing I saw was Sixth Ray of Devotion, which 43 adds up to a 7. So stay in your devotion. And then, so this is 43 and then 44. Seventh Ray of Ritual, Order, and Ceremony. So bearing yourself to the divine through whatever devotion and ceremonies that you may be using in order to connect with your guides, angels, spirit, ancestors, archangels, whatever your spiritual beliefs are. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the power of the divine masculine. Okay. So 43, 44, and 10. So 7, 8, and then 10. Make sure I got the right 43. Okay, so seventh ray of ritual, order, and ceremony. When the gift of the seventh ray enters your life, something new is being formed, something that will benefit your world. There may be an increased interest in magic, ceremony, and ritual for healing purposes, resonating with high frequency violet light, and the archangel Zadkiel, the seventh ray, also helps transmute energy from lower to higher vibrational frequency. It is a spiritual cleansing agent that allows the truth of spiritual freedom, empowerment, and choice to be seen and felt, restoring hope and joy to the heart. The seventh ray is a very active upon the earth at this time. All of humanity is being affected by it. The seventh ray is the push-pull between the old and the new, the life that has been and can no longer continue in that form, and the new life that wants to evolve from the old. It honors traditions and ancestral wisdom that serve new life. When the seventh ray enters your life, you are asked to balance your attachment to what has been with an openness to the new. It is time to fearlessly question what has been, honor what continues to hold value for you, and dismiss what no longer serves you. So if you would like to invoke this seventh ray of order and ceremony, choosing a spiritual practice to engage on a regular basis, creating your own spiritual system, will help you call the genius of seventh ray energy into your life. Your spiritual practice might be a daily prayer followed by a short conscious dance or yoga session, a meditation, a walk in nature, or some combination of these. Find what works for you. Do that regularly. Make it a priority. You can invite spirit into your life through a simple and ordered system that you do on a regular basis, even if only for 5 or 10 minutes a day. Then the new life, the new you, the order that brings an expansive idea to life in the world can happen. So in the background, I'm playing the second chakra seed sound because I was being drawn to heal this the second chakra for vitality and send out some cleansing and clearing to this collective for enhanced creativity, vitality, and cleansing and clearing of the second chakra with divine sacred healing energies. The gift of the seventh ray is the ability to live as an embodied divine presence. For humans who do not trust or even recognize the love of the divine in their hearts as yet, those who do are great supporters. The seventh ray empowers us to use loving ritual to invite divine presence to fill us and our lives. It also teaches us how to use our consciousness to clean up our own energy field and the energy field of the world around us to the divine, so the divine can show its face more clearly. The comfort of this can help free all beings from anguish and suffering. So I've been channeling sacred healing energies to my environment through myself. I've been calling on these sacred energies to help nourish this collective. And I've really been going within from my own experience. That's what I have to share at this time is what I've been going through. A lot of purging, releasing, and cleansing and clearing of my own. Healing of that second chakra for my own vitality. Because I can only help heal others to the level that I have cleansed and cleared and healed myself. So if you would like to invoke this seventh order of ritual, order, and ceremony, you can say this with me now. I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the seventh ray of ritual, order, and ceremony, and the assistance of the unconditional loving masters on this ray, the violet flame of Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel. I open to the magic of creativity, divine genius, and the ability to translate spiritual concepts into real world experiences for the greatest good. I discover and use my innate power for conscious and loving ritual and ceremony to enrich and invite spiritual presence into the world. May all beings feel safe and consciously held in a loving divine order, according to the great plan of love. Through my own free will, so be it. So that's what I've been doing as well, is just surrendering and opening myself up to more sacred love, healing energy, and channeling that through with the help of my spiritual team, and continuing to stay in my devotion and connect with these rituals and my own divine divine masculine within me, because my own and your own divine masculine is your protector, your provider, whether you're male or female. That's something that we do for ourselves, and that is the key to your own light. And you may be initiated by air, over the airwaves, or maybe by an air sign, or you may be initiating an air sign or through the airwaves with your own spiritual practice. It's part of your life path. Okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. We'll stay in our devotion and continue with our own personal connection with our ritual orders and ceremonies that work for us, surrendering to more love and light. So focus on the light within you and the light around you, and then drawing more light through you and shining that out through your heart chakra and whatever creative projects that you are working with. So come to life, paint yourself to life. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for this message. Thank you for our gifts. Can you please show us what these sacred rebel light workers need to know at this time to continue focusing on the light as they focus on their devotion and their own personal spiritual path and ritual order and ceremony? Dream a beautiful dream. Release any transgressions or resentments. Dream a beautiful dream, the perfection of your life. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Can you show us what we need to know most from Sacred Rebels Oracle deck? Thank you. Oh, wow. Anything else? Okay. Heaven sent. So this is 33, which is the age that Jesus Christ was. So heaven sent. This devotion, ritual order, and ceremony is heaven sent. Softly, softly, the tender touch. Speak softly. That's a great reminder for me as we all continue to dive for light. So 33, 20, 11. So we are receiving downloads from the divine that are heaven sent, that are helping with our devotion, helping us stay devoted to our sacred path and our own personal rituals, orders, and ceremonies that are heaven sent, that are being given to us from our ancestors, to speak softly. You may be feeling emotional and crying. Speak out these emotions. Breathe your breath. Breathe through these purges and releases. And have a tender touch, a gentle touch with yourself. Be gentle with yourself as you go through these spiritual upgrades and continue diving for light. Anything else from Sacred Rebels, Divine Holy Spirit? Anything else as we continue to go through this 12-12 spiritual ascension and change that was heaven sent to remind us to speak softly and have a tender touch with ourselves and others. Visions of life beyond death. So you may be getting sacred downloads that are from your ancestors' spiritual teams in dreams. that are being given to you. So here's 4444. So 4444. Ritual orders and ceremonies maybe that your ancestors did. You're getting downloads from the spiritual realm of maybe ancestors that have passed on. I know that that's true for me because no one has told me how to do the things that I do in order to cleanse and clear my own energy. It's just something that was intuitively given to me through tapping into my own sacred space that dwells within me and in my heart. And it's a very personal experience. I don't have, when I first started on this journey, I had a lot of nightmares. I don't have those anymore. I do receive these visions of life beyond death. So it's very different for every person. She feels, she knows. So you intuitively know that you are receiving these visions. And begin to trust yourself more, your intuition and your spiritual gifts. They're blessings from the divine, and you wouldn't have been given them if you didn't spiritually earn them. That's something that I had to accept as I've continued on this sacred path, that these gifts are heaven sent. You've earned them spiritually. You've worked for them. Be soft and tender with yourself. Surrendering to the divine and these emotions that are healing you as you continue to dive for this light and receive these visions. Thank you, Spirit. So I'm being called to read 20, softly, softly, the tender touch. The feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. When we are at a point in life where we want to attain greater things, but do not necessarily have a proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal, it is time to work smarter rather than harder. This is the way of the divine feminine wisdom. However, a cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We are generally taught that the more force we use, the more we try to make things happen, the more we will achieve. The feminine way is not about force, nor is it about driving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we can in order to create. It is about inviting what we wish for to come into the space we have provided for it, internally and into our lives. This method cultivates more energy, causes less stress, and attracts what is desired. It is the manifestation by invitation rather than by will or force. This oracle brings you a message. You do not need to push quite so hard to receive what is naturally coming to you. Your push comes from a place of uncertainty over whether or not you will succeed. You need to relax and have more faith in yourself. All things come in time, rightfully and according to a great, loving wisdom. You are not immune to this. You shall have your time and shine too. Rebel against any voice of fear. within you or around you that tells you otherwise. It is okay to become softer, to feel the energy of what you wish to attract into your life, and to act as much as you can as though it is already that way. You are not fantasizing or daydreaming or failing to live in the real world if you do this. You are actually working with the feminine art of manifestation through gentle beingness and attraction. As you soften into becoming what you are seeking, what you wish for will not be able to resist your shining, inviting presence. So through this healing process, say out loud if you like, I shine like the sun, radiant with grace, and all that I desire comes to me according to perfect timing. I relax, I believe, and receive through unconditional love. This is now so. So that is a beautiful reminder for me, because I know sometimes I can get kind of riled up about things when I feel like things aren't going according to my plan or the way that I think that they should go. So that is very much a great reminder for me on this sacred path to be soft and gentle and draw through unconditionally loving of myself, to draw that energy to me through connecting to this devotion and my own sacred rituals and channeling of those sacred energies, the way that I do it naturally for myself. It may not be your way, but your way works for you, and it is a heaven-sent way. And just a great reminder for us to be a little softer and more gentle and tender on ourselves, because these emotions can be quite turbulent sometimes as we dive for light. And receiving these visions, I know at times were very scary for me, some of the visions that I received. And part of spiritual awakening, I thought I was completely going crazy. So if you're going through something like that, just breathe and be gentle on yourself. It's all part of the process, and that's a great reminder for me too, to just continue breathing, that this is all part of the journey, and finding that sacredness within our own heart, and then drawing that from the divine through our hearts and into the world as we surrender to unconditional sacred love. So this is going to be a message from the Kuan Yin for blessing, guidance, and enlightenment from divine feminine wisdom and unconditional love, as we continue to be initiated through these rites of passage on the sacred path. Just a reminder that we're all doing the best that we can, and to continue surrendering to sacred love, and to be a little bit more gentle on ourselves, because it can be a very tender, painful experience at times. I'm grateful for the people that have helped me get through the last year of my life, through this spiritual ascension, and helped me have hope. As I had to really get into self-discipline and changing the ways that I do some things, and remembering who I am and what I am here for. And believing in myself and my own abilities, and to not be so hard on myself. I'm my own worst critic. I'm sure some of you can relate to that as well. So thank you, Holy Spirit. Can we please get a message for enlightenment, empowerment from the Divine Feminine? For messages for the fellow travelers, brothers and sisters that are on the sacred path, that are heaven sent. Thank you. Anything else? Thank you. Okay. Okay. First card I saw was Threshold. At the threshold you stand. Before you lies a way of being that it is beyond fear. It is a sacred passing through a karmic veil into a new life of empowerment, peace, and unconditional love. You are coming home to love. Then it says, enter the Jade Temple. Kuan Yin in her temple of peaceful jade causes all conflict to elevate to higher peaceful resolution. A resolution and healing of any situation that is concerning you is already underway. You are being asked to begin to feel the relief of that resolution now, so you can more readily melt into the divine solution and blessing of peace from beloved Kuan Yin. So that kind of goes along with the softly, the tender touch. So just feel that relief and breathe through that, knowing that there is a resolution. It's already being done by your sacred divine